So tell me, I heard you earlier say you've known Harry since he was tiny.
Yeah, like this big.
What's the story? How did you end up with him?
So my husband was driving down the road in Crum, and he saw a little blob in the road, whipped it around, found this cat. He took it to 3 other places before we went to a veterinary clinic that was closer to where we live, because Crum is not where we live. And they all had said that we would probably just need to put him down because he was pretty injured. His face was pretty mangled. His arm, the muscle was completely detached. The tendons were completely detached. And so we went there. We had a friend that worked there, so it was, more personal. And they were like, let's give it a few days. You never know. So we gave him a few days. And we ended up just amputating the arm, and he actually got the arm and his shoulder amputated because his bone got infected, the shoulder bone. So, and had a bit of recovery time. I think it was about 2 months for his fur to grow back and the stitches to come out and everything. And then he was perfectly fine. Got around like every other cat.
And how did you decide that he was a good candidate to be a therapy cat?
Anytime we have anybody come over to our apartment, he's always very curious. He'll walk up to them. He likes to smell their shoes. And just his temperament overall, you can do anything with Harry. You can touch his ears, you can touch his tail, you can, get away with touching his toes. So that made him a really good candidate. And also just the fact that he had 3 legs. I felt like he could probably touch some people, show people that you can get hurt and be disabled or anything and just be totally fine, live a normal life.
So what did you have to go through in order to get to work with pet partners? Am I saying that properly? Okay. So what did you have to do to say, hey, I want, I want to volunteer, I want to take Harry. So how did you go through that process?
You just sign up online. I did some online classes. We did a lot of visiting with friends and family. And I specifically went to practice. I specifically went to places that I knew had dogs because Harry hadn't had much interaction with dogs and did not like dogs. But after a while, now he does totally fine. I took him to a dog park and had him in his backpack, and he just sat there because he knows that as long as I'm there, he's going to be okay. And then we did a temperament test where we had to go, and they had, of course, other dogs and people and simulations of different situations that we could possibly be in, and he did great. And then we just started reaching out to places about volunteering.
So is he considered like a certified, or what's the
He's a therapy animal.
A therapy animal.
So There's emotional support animals, which there's no certification for. There's that's kind of just your pet. There's an actual therapy animal. So Harry goes, he soothes people, he has the temperament, he's able to go in places that normal people can't bring their pets. And then there's a service animal which performs a task. So they can tell you that you're having an anxiety attack. They can tell you that you're, low on blood sugar, whatnot. So Harry can't tell me anything, but he does a pretty good job. So.
You say you feel like he knows, like you tell him he's going to work and he's excited?
Oh, absolutely. I tell him he's going to work and he gets super excited. And, and it's time to get in the backpack. He doesn't find it at all. He's pretty happy to come. You can just tell. It's just he knows that he's going. He knows he's prepared.
And I said, I feel a special soothing power or something like that with him, because some cats don't give off that vibe, I feel like. Do you feel that from him? Do you feel like there's just something about him that's really peaceful?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if that's just because he's my cat too, but I definitely find Harry very calming, and I feel like he understands a lot of people's emotions and what they need. he's pretty good about knowing if a kid doesn't want him on their bed. He's really good about staying in my arms, but he can tell, like, if it's somebody that he's been with before, he'll fight to get out of my arms to get in the bed. He'll squiggle a little bit, huh, buddy? So he knows.
Couple more things for you. What does it do for you when you are here and you see him and you see people like fawning over him and you hear people say that they appreciate it? I mean, like, does it kind of fulfill you too?
Yeah, absolutely. My husband and I had a conversation about this actually about like 6 months into me volunteering. I was saying how it felt really good to be doing something. I feel very fulfilled with my time and that I'm doing, something for others and doing more than just my 9 to 5. And I was telling him that I kind of felt guilty that I was feeling good about myself, that I was doing something like that. And he was like, well, for one, if you're feeling guilty about it, you probably, it's okay. And two, you're making other people happy, you're making yourself happy, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it just gives me a really big sense of fulfillment that, I'm doing something more. There's not a lot of stuff that we all have control over, so.
Amen. And the final thing is, what do you see in the kids? What do you see when you are watching one of the patients with Harry? And what do you see from them?
A lot of them get excited or they love to tell me about their pets. My favorite is when it's a person that's never had an interaction with a cat before. And they're like, oh my gosh, he's so calm. He's so easy. Oh, he loves me. Because Harry acts like this pretty much with all of the kids. So they all know they're special. They're all like, oh, I'm special. Harry really likes me. Harry really likes me. I'm so special. But I think everybody's special to Harry. I think he just enjoys coming and hanging out with them.
Yeah. You said you weren't always a cat person.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I used to be scared of cats whenever I was younger. And my husband had 2 cats whenever we very first met. And I fell in absolute love with them because they're so much fun. And now we have 3 cats. So.
And you were determined. At first you were like, this cat can't stay.
Yeah. I don't particularly love being outnumbered by the cats. But when we found out that Harry wasn't going to be able to keep that extra leg and he was going to need extra care, we knew that we needed to keep him. We couldn't expect anybody else to take care of him. So